Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk about the future of translation. Technology has revolutionized the field of translation, bringing drastic changes to the way translation is studied and done. To an average user, technology is simply about clicking buttons and storing data. When speaking of machine translation, we cannot forget that in April 2006, Google launched a translation service that now supports over 100 languages at various levels, and as now serves over 500 million people daily. Google Translation provides a means for people who need a quick translation to acquire information. So in the short term, we can predict that the technology will become more mature and better meet the three principles of translation, namely faithfulness, expressiveness, and elegance. Based on the Statistical Machine Translation, SMT, Google announced that Google Translate would switch to a neural machine translation engine, GNMT, in November 2016, which translates whole sentence at a time rather than just piece by piece. It uses its broader context to help it figure out the most relevant translation, which it then rearranges and adjusts to be more like a human speaking with proper grammar. As a result, in 1 or 2 years, the accuracy of translation would be greatly guaranteed due to the promotion of technology. And in the medium term, the problems ahead might be cost and manipulation. As far as the criteria of machine translation is concerned, bilingual evaluation under study, BLEU, is an algorithm for evaluating the quality of text. The closer a machine translation is to a professional human translation, the better it is. Neural machine translation, NMT, uses a large artificial neural network to predict the likelihood of a sequence of words, typically modeling entire sentences in a single integrated model. Except for quality, the cost and manipulation shouldn't be ignored. As for the future of neural machine translation, it can be inexpensive and easy to have access so that more people can benefit from it. Other examples can also bring us inspirations and predictions about the future. For instance, the idea of universal translator, first described in Murray Lanston's 1945 novella First Contact, and can be seen in the space opera media franchise Star Trek. And Babelfish in the comedy science fiction The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is another example. It is a small yellow fish, feeds on brainwave energy, and can decode the brainwave matrix. Furthermore, iFlyTek, a Chinese information technology company, launched a translation machine supports instant translation of 51 languages in nearly 200 countries, with a good function of identifying accents and dialects. These are all good explorations with huge potential and bright prospects. In a word, the combination of neural machine translation with other possible explorations can break the language barrier entirely in 5 to 10 years. Unless in the long term, we might live in a world without Babel. Our technology is mature enough to realize universal translation by implant a chip in our body. So we can also be able to communicate with anyone in the world. I believe translation is first science, then art. While machine translation can perfectly deal with practical texts, there's not a long way for literature translation.